In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make the famous skill check system like the one from Dead by Daylight. So what is a skill check system? The skill check is a quick time event where you press a button at the right moment when a moving marker overlaps the success zone. But here's the one I've created for the sake of this tutorial. Alright, so let's create the widget. Now that the widget is created, let's go ahead and create the skill check. This image will be the base of the skill check, so make sure to set the anchor point by pressing Ctrl and left click or else this won't properly work. And now we are just adjusting the bar size and getting everything set up to our liking. And now you want to add another image, and this image will be the success zone. And now adjust the settings and change the color of it. And now that that is done, now adjust the positioning of the success zone. Now add another image, and this time this image will be the slider. And now adjust the settings and change the color of it. And now adjust the positioning of the slider. And now we are just naming these images to be more organized. But now that we are done setting up the skill check, let's get into creating the slider animation. Make sure to have the slider selected before clicking the animation. And now we are going to animate the X value of the slider. And move the slider until it is at the ending of the bar. That is a little too slow, so we are just going to adjust the timeline. Now open up your event graph and then drag off the construct pin. Then get this play animation node. This is going to play the slider animation that we've created. Now drag off this pin and get the animation. Now you want to get the end time of the animation. Now we are going to get the add node, and then we are going to add a value to the end time. Then get this delay node. Now you want to connect this add node to the duration of the delay node. Now you want to duplicate the animation node by pressing Ctrl and D. The second animation node will be used to make the slider go backwards. Now connect this pin to the animation pin. Now connect this add node to the delay node. Now add this custom event. This custom event is going to be used to loop the animation. Now we want to enable the input of the player's controller. This is so that we can press an input during the skill check. I just opened a Discord for our community. It's a welcoming spot to connect, share your journey, ask questions, and just enjoy the game dev grind together. Link is in the description. Now that we have done that, we want to set up the actual logic that we need to run the skill check. And now you want to get your slider and then drag off of that and get the transform. And then break that, and then break the translation of it. Alright, now open up the designer. Now we are going to get the position of everything inside of the success zone. Now scroll on the timeline until the slider reaches the edge of the success zone. Then copy the X value, and now open up your graph. Get a greater than node, and then paste the X value. And now open up the designer once more. And now scroll on your timeline until the slider reaches the end of the success zone. And now copy the X value. And now we are going to get a less than node and then paste the value. This and boolean node is checking if the slider is within the two edges. And if it is, then it will succeed its skill check. And now connect this to the branch. And now we are going to add a couple of print strings so that we know if it succeeds or not during the skill check. And now open up your player, and now we are going to add the widget to the viewport. I forgot to do this earlier, but go back into your widget and then change the second animation to reverse, and after the delay node, call your loop function. If you look at the top left, it will only print success if the slider is inside of the success zone. Alright, let's go ahead and create the door blueprint. Now go ahead and add your door static mesh. Now you want to add a box collision. This box collision will enable the skill check widget when the player overlaps with it. Just scale the box to your liking. Now scroll down and hit the plus icon. Start off of other actor, get an equal node, and if the actor equals to the player, then this branch will be true. You can hold B and left click to get a branch, or you can just search it up. But if the player overlaps with the collision, then we want to create the widget. Then add it to the viewport. Now we want to disable all of the player's current actions such as movement and the ability to look around. This next part is optional, but I'm showing the player's mouse cursor when the skill check is on the screen. Now that we have done that, you want to create this custom event. This event will be used to call the logic that will open the door. Now add a timeline node. The timeline node is one of the most useful blueprint tools for making things change smoothly over time. To lengthen the timeline is how long we want the animation to be. Now add a flow track. Now right click on your timeline. Now for these values, just change it to 0 as this is the beginning of the timeline. Now change the value to 1. Now highlight 2 of the points and then right click and then change it to auto as this will smoothen out the graph. Now you want to get your door and then set relative rotation. Now you want to split the pins. Now get a lerp node. The lerp node will transition between two values. Now we want to move all this logic over. Now you want to promote the widget into a variable. Now you want to get your widget reference, and then you want to right click the pin and convert it to a validated get. If the widget is valid, then we want to remove it from the screen as we are succeeding the skill check. Now just move this over. Now we want to set the widget. Now go back into your widget. Now open up your graph. Now on success, you want to get actor of class. Now select your door class. Now drag off the blue pin and get the custom event that you made. Now you want to open up your player blueprint. Now delete the widget from your player. Now go back into your door blueprint. Now drag this over. Now you want to get a sequence node. You can either hold the S and left click or you can search it up. Now we want to revert the player's actions such as the ability to look around and the movement. Now place your door into the scene and give it a try. If you want a more advanced skill check where you're able to randomize the position of the success zone, consider liking the video. That'll let me know you guys want a part 2. Until then, I'll catch you in the next one.